Hey, everybody, I'm Couch Mike,
Hey, and I'm Tim.
and we are live
Oh,
from our basements because we cover games from the ground up. Welcome, everybody. It is Whiskey Wednesday.
happy Valentine's Day to all of you cool cats and kittens. Thank you all for being here tonight. And for those of you joining us later, hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day, right?
Indeed. I am the single one, so you knew I'd be here.
Yeah, and I've been married for ages and we've got kids. It's school night. So I was definitely going to be here.
So that's probably Mr. Halbert as well. Thanks,
That
everybody, for
is.
joining us. Anybody tuning in tonight is a bonus, so we get it. It's February 14th.
Hey, real quick. Anybody, whatever your thing is, there is a friend of the show. Mike, you don't know about this, or you may not know about this. There's a friend of the show that's kind of going through a rough time. So everybody just send out some good vibes, positive energy, prayers, whatever your thing is. Just put them out in the universe. Because you just never know what people are going through. And so I'm just thinking of you. I hope everything turns out okay. Mike, I'll tell you off camera. I just want to respect people's privacy. I meant to tell you earlier, and then we started running late.
Yep.
Um,
Understood.
but real quick, before we get into the last and final piece,
Finally,
it took us
2 months later.
Only took us 2 months, but before we get into that,
You die.
before we get into that last half of the list, Mike and I had a few things we wanted to talk about that we thought were either interesting or that have just kind of come across our radar. And we also have like a very, very exciting schedule for like the next month and a half.
Loaded
hey, Luca.
Schedule.
Everybody say hi to Luca. This is where we pretend like we're at Iowa and everybody turns and waves to the children. But anyways, so we've got like an awesome month and a half of guests coming up for you. But before we even do that, I just wanted to mention some Kickstarters that are coming, either that we have already shot videos for and they're out now, or we will be shooting some videos for. And so first we have to say Conquest Princess, right? It's doing well on Kickstarter, but we could always be doing better. And because fashion is power, and we want to support not just Seppi, but the wonderful folks at Fight in the Box. Awesome,
Necropede.
Awesome people. Yeah, you can get now the game. They've got crazy deluxe version. It puts Simon to shame. Also want to talk about Caloria, which is like a really, really cool ecosystem building game where you're placing tiles. Mike, you didn't get to play this, but I think you'd really like this game.
I love the look of it.
It was very cool, super fun. And then coming up, I've got a game. So there's an expansion for a game called Ostia, where you are creating trade routes in the Mediterranean, but you're using this Mancala resource system. So like you're going to pick up, I believe you pick up, where you pick up is the action you're going to gain the resources from the area you pick up, and then the area you land on, you are going to gain those resources. So like super cool, very neat game. They sent us a copy of the base game, but then a sample, like a prototype of the Pirates expansion. So excited for that. We also have Profiler. There's Caloria.
Yeah, I'm behind you. Sorry, I'm getting caught up. I got
no, you're fine. You're fine. Look up Profiler real quick. I think that's on BGG now.
And the other one was was it a reprint?
Ostia.
Yeah, this one.
Yep. Yeah, but if
I was trying to find the box art. It has really cool box art.
Oh, it does. It has great box art. If you find it on BG, you can probably find it on BGG.
I will. I'll come back to it. But yes, catching up with you.
Profiler.
Is that on GameFound?
Is that on GameFound? I don't remember. I would just go to BGG and find it.
I got you.
I'm not always amazing at keeping track of like right now where is that game popping up at?
Like a month or two from now. So yeah.
Right. But yeah, we've got some cool stuff. We just played while Mike's looking, I'll stretch a little. I got to play some games with West and Dan and Bob last Friday. And I played an amazing slew of games. I finally got to play Resurgence by Stan Kordonsky.
Yes.
Man, badass game. Really
It's
good.
great.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's a hidden gem, honestly. I mean,
it really is. Then we played Bloodstones again, and then we played. Oh, we played Drop Space. Yes. Paint Mike like one of your Ninja Turtles instead of French girls.
Yes.
Like we don't want to be weird.
Make sure he uses blue and white though, please.
Yeah. Smear that crap all over it. But we played a game called Drop Space, which is really cool. You're flying ships around and collecting resources, but you deploy your ship by dropping it into the galaxy, and you've got a little measuring thing that you use to fly around, and then you can change the shape of it, and you can scoop up resources. You go to different planets and sell them. It's pretty fun. It was really cool. And then we played, of course, like Ahoy Kitten, Cockroach Poker, Mountain Goats, and Scout. So it was a big night of games. I was up way too late, but it was amazing. Did you find it, Mike? Did I stretch long enough? Or did you give up?
I kind of did because I'm not seeing it on BGG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not there yet.
I apologize. The profiler, that does make a difference. They have a very specific search algorithm and a social deduction game.
Yes.
This one is about capturing serial killers. The premise sounds fun. Really does.
Yeah. I think it would be really cool.
I think he actually uses real serial killers in the game as well.
And it comes up like a dossier, like the stuff in the box is like a dossier. Like it feels very, to catch a killer kind of thing.
Yeah, this looks a lot of fun. You know, we like social deduction.
But yeah, Mike, why don't we, before we get into the topic, a little mini topic that sparked your interest, why don't you run through this list of all-stars that we've got coming on?
Oh my word. Well, do we actually not have anybody next week?
No, next week is Kim.
Gosh. So we have Kim from Tabletop Rebellion. Yes, Kim Breeze. We have so many that we were like scrambling, like, okay, wait, we had to confirm dates and everything. Tim, you booked more of them, so I don't remember last names.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, so Kim Breeze, and we are going to do the top 80 characters from the 80s and 90s from television and movies. I figure even Mike can hang with that one, right?
Oh my gosh. Welcome, Noah.
What's up, man? Then after that, we're gonna have Arwen Kathke on. And what was her list? Now I forget her list. Shelf of Shame. Shelf of Shame.
We're not usually we don't typically have our list this far ahead. So
I know
we booked all these this week, like literally in the last 4 or 5 days. So it's been a lot to keep track of. We obviously need a better system for that.
Yeah. And then after that, we've got Reed Mascola, right? Reed?
Yes, we do. We're going to talk about his upcoming deck building game, Rune Beast, which is kind of a creature collector. He's made fun games like Vigilante and others.
And then we're going to be talking to him, top 10 creatures in games. Creature games.
But it's a double top 5.
Yeah, top 5 creatures in games and top 5 creatures from games and movies, right?
Yep. Shows, video games.
Yeah.
Movies. Creatures. That'll be fun. Looking forward to that one.
Then we're going to have James Wings on from 10 Alley Games.
10 Robot.
What did I say? 10 Alley. 10 Robot Games. Sorry, James. And we are doing, I forget.
He hasn't picked a topic yet.
Okay. So we're doing something with James. It's going to be awesome. Uh, and he he has run several successful Kickstarters. He's gonna have a new game we'll be plugging when we get there on when he is on the show. That is a game that we'll be getting soon.
Cities of Venus was one of his more
Cities of
successful
Venus. Yep.
funding games.
Yep. He actually they Tin Robot also punished public. I'm on cold medicine, so my brain's scrambled. Catnip Auction House, designed by Reed
Other game.
Mascola. Yeah.
Yep.
So looking forward to having James on. James also does his own podcast. We'll plug that more when my brain is not fried. And then after that is
the 20th.
The 20th
is Parakeet Griffin.
So yeah, our buddies at Parakeet Griffin. Yeah.
Yeah, Fairy Tale Game Pantry. You've seen us play it a whole bunch of times because it is hilarious with the right group, of course. Social goofing off game. And they are great at it, of course, because they designed it and play it. So that'll be hilarious. Yeah. Stay tuned for that one.
And then last but not least, at least
definitely not least,
until the next wave of awesome guests, we have show favorite Katia is going to be on. And Katia, we're going to do top 5 games to play outside, right? In celebration of spring.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be almost spring, late March, almost to April, which also happens to be when her calendar campaign is going to be out, which is just an insta-back if you don't already. So that'll be awesome. Last time we had her on, she was on the Friendsgiving show, which was great. But last time I remember she picked IPs that should be turned into games. That one was a lot of fun. So yeah, a great upcoming guest list. Cannot wait. I apologize that I couldn't remember some of the topics and names. It's been like throwing a bunch of stuff together, kind of all in a very short time. So we got plenty of time to get prepped for those and give you guys great shows.
Oh yeah,
when those guys are here. So looking forward to it. All right. So last little thing. Before we get into our topic, which by the way, we didn't say for sure, we top 100, of course. We're doing 51 through 60 because we did our studio top 50, which was put out 2 months ago. And we said, hey, we'll do our top 100 through 50 on our live stream. Some of you have been here for some of those, and we appreciate it. We're finally going to get to our number 51 tonight. Before we do that, I saw this post, all right? It was in one of the bigger Facebook groups about how some content creators don't get right to the point. You tune in, you just want to see, oh, these are your top 10 games of all time? Great. All right, so what are they? Well, it's not always that easy, and it's not always that quick. If it was, I wouldn't put out a video. I would just make a list and give it to you. Now, if you ask me for my top 10 or my top 37, give them to you. There's no secret here. But what it made me realize was a couple weeks ago, we had Seppa Yoon on the show, hilarious guest. That top robots list might have been one of my favorite episodes of all time. I'm not gonna lie. It was a blast. I really enjoyed doing that list. And when we were prepping for that list, as usual, there's a ton of discussion about what constitutes as a robot and, what kind of brain can it have? It has to be programmed, must be tangible, all this stuff, parameters, all these good things. It was this process. When we do our lists, what I realize is I love the process of putting the list together. It's not the list that I come up with. It is. But it's how I get to that list. Not just the decisions I make and the stuff that I find, hidden gems that I discover, putting those lists together. It's just also giving you the content of those lists like we're about to do. And we don't always get right to that point because on our show, it's always been about, I want the show to be just as entertaining as it is informative. And I thought that was a precedent that Tim seemed to set a long time ago. So when we said we were going to do a live show, Like, well, we want people to actually show up and watch. If all we did was just go, all right, my 10 is this, my 9 is that, my 8 is this. Yeah, we could do that, and we'll still do that at times, but it's the process of our video. Sit back, relax, enjoy it. And I came full circle on this because I get really short attention span when it comes to movies. If you don't give me something that grabs me within a half hour, I may not finish the movie. And I tried to watch Dune Imperium and I couldn't because for someone that was trying to learn the universe, that movie didn't give me that and it was too slow for me. Then Seppi and Tim said, sit back, enjoy the ride, enjoy the movie. It's not where it ends up, it's the journey that gets you there. That's kind of how I take our videos. So, those of you that appreciate that, we're glad that you come back and watch us every week. Those that don't and want us to get right to our lists, well, we're about to do that right now. So, you'll get what you ask for 15 minutes into the show. I apologize.
Well, I just want to add to it also, right? Like, so for Mike, right, he loves that creation of the list, going down those rabbit holes and really putting it all together. Me, I really enjoyed the presentation of the list. Not that you don't, Mike, but like, you know what I mean? Like, we just get our jollies in different, for the different aspects. Like, don't get me wrong, I love throwing together the list, but I love like it just allows me to express, like myself and my feelings, with everything and all about it and all the context. I mean, we both, I like to think, provide a lot of context for why we like or dislike the games that we do. So then that way our opinions aren't just like, well, it sucked. That's it. I'm done. Because a, a game that I don't like or that Mike doesn't like, other people might like. And if you are able to at least explain why you don't like it, I can still go, oh, well, I know I'm going to like that game, even though they hated it, just because of the things that they said, this checks boxes for me, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe games we love and we talk about why we love them. And then other people are like, I don't actually like any of the things that they love about that game. So I'm probably going to steer clear. So, I mean, it allows our reviews to no matter what our opinion is, it allows our reviews to still be effective. The other thing, right, is when and I'm just going to go back to like when you're talking about like, oh, putting the other show and setting a precedent with how we do the show. Well, here's the thing: is there's a million board game YouTube channels. We're so grateful that you give us a little bit of your time. But what's our niche, right? What do we do different? It's funny because like when I talk to designers and they're talking about other people's games, you want to talk about I've had other designers like they're like, well, what makes that game different? What sets that game apart, right? So same thing with content creation. What sets us apart? Well, what sets us apart is that I'm the only me. Mike's the only Mike. We're very distinct personalities. And and like anybody, you either really are drawn to those personalities or you're not, and you might be drawn more to some than others. But I mean, if people aren't going to like us, they're not going to like us and they'll move on, and that's fine. But hopefully we're kind of entertaining, and likable enough. And, and we can just kind of keep people watching. And I 100% get, like our top 10 lists on the live shows are wild. They're all over the place, sometimes more concise than others. When we do a studio show and it's all nicely edited and produced, and then there's timestamps in there, so I get it. But yeah, man, we just like shooting the shit, Dave. I like shooting the shit with you guys. It is even on days when it's like, man, I got a show. I never feel like, man, I got a show tonight. Cause I'm always like,
right.
All right, I got a show tonight. I could get to hang out with all my buddies. I get to hang out with my friends. And,
yeah, I did not emphasize of course, the importance and the enjoyment of the delivery of the list.
I wasn't trying to shortchange you there, Mike. I apologize.
But no. It can't be understated, of course, how fun it is just doing this and hanging out and talking about games we love. So that's obviously the whole reason we do it.
With people that I genuinely enjoy their company. You know what I mean? Like all the comment, like Like we just have such a nice rapport and such a nice regular audience. I just really appreciate that. And I know we say it all the time, but I'll say it again. Thank you all for being our Valentines tonight. And really, really glad, those of you that could make it, even if you watch later, I just appreciate you no matter what. So thank you for that. Mike, you got anything else?
Number 60.
Woo!
That's what I got.
Let's do it, buddy.
But because we're cheap, we only got 10 of these things. Deal with it.
Hey, we even got Sam watching. What's up, Sam?
I don't know who he's talking about that's nice either.
Donnie, we got our boy Donnie.
Like if people like from all over the country wanted to come out like to our area and play games, I definitely wouldn't be like, well, I mean, he could crash here. I would not do that. Like I refuse to be a good host.
Only if you've got like a nice big tree swing in the back. You could give somebody a gentle just shove. All right,
wonderful.
Let's get into our number 60. I'm excited about this. Finally. We play games, right? For a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons is the social experiences and the stories we get to tell after the fact. So that's why my number 60 is Cash and Guns. Because this is a game where, there's some strategy, right? But there's a lot of there is, but there's bluffing, there's kind of a pressure luck aspect to it because it's like, do I think you're bluffing? I think that goes into the pressure luck. I'm gonna stay up. I might get shot, but if I don't get shot, I might be able to get this loot. Well, Water Wednesday. I took some cold pills, and I don't like having anything alcoholic when I so I got
it's Wussy Wednesday too.
Yeah, I got some root beer and some water. Because I don't want to fall asleep 15 minutes in the show because I drank some alcohol. But yeah, Cash and Guns. This game is an evergreen for me. Again, it is group dependent. There's gonna be some people that are not gonna like this style of game. But yeah, I mean, effectively, you just pulled off a huge heist. You're splitting up the loot, but everybody's decided they want to get more of the loot for themselves. So yeah, foam guns with the orange tips, and this game's a blast. Always have a good time playing this, even when I score $0. I don't care. But yeah, it's super good. Super good.
This is one I've been wanting to play for a while. I really have been trying to get this played. Maybe I'll try to get it played at Meeple Saturday. I don't know. I've really been wanting to play Cash and Guns.
Like, again, you've played it before, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just check.
I own it.
I thought you did.
Spirit expansion, which lets you split into teams. I haven't used that one yet. I understand the other expansion is better because it has different types of guns.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that's one of the coolest parts about this game is pointing foam guns at other people.
Yes.
So give me some different gats to point at people. That'll be fun. Yeah, it's a blast. Just because I haven't played it in a while is probably why I didn't crack my top 100, but it's close.
Yeah, it's a good one. It is a good one. Yeah, Sam, you're right. I mean, IBC and it's Sprecher. There's definitely better root beers, but this one's good enough. It was on sale. We scooped some up.
Wow. So we go from Tim's kind of light party game, and now we're going to switch gears quite a bit. We're going from a 1.25 weight to a little bit of a beast in Gaia Project.
Oh.
Now, I've been a Terra Mystica fan for a long time. I always loved that game. I finally played Gaia Project on BGA. Yeah, it's better. It is better. The tracks are more meaningful. And I really like the planning that you have to do to, hit specific scoring goals each round. It kind of caters towards building certain buildings each round. And getting, different income to utilize those buildings the best at the end of those rounds. I always have liked those games that let you do as many actions as you can, and then you get to pass on your turn. And then I remember Terra Mystica is one of the first games I remember where, if I pass, I get to do a thing, and then I'll choose a different thing that'll happen when I pass on the next round. And I always just thought that was a really, really cool mechanic. So Gaia Project is my number 60. Uh, there's a couple things that aren't my favorite about this one. It's there can be a lot of downtime in this if you play with five. I think it's a bit much at five. But what's tough is it's not a good two-player game. It's a fine three-player game, but like you really, really just want to have four people for Gaia Project, and that's because when you build adjacent to other people, um, you're basically just trying to spread out into these different planets. Well, if I do that adjacent to someone else's building, they can a point to gain power, and power is just another way that you get stronger actions. You're building up like these purple power things into these areas here. Well, you can expend them, and you get these like super bonus actions. Everybody has played, I'm sure, has played this one, and I'm preaching to the choir. But again, it that's just it may that power system rewards playing with more people. You don't get to swap power as much with two or three people. So you're not doing as much stuff, and it just feels a lot more limiting. So I think it's a average at best two-player game, and sadly, the downtime with five is insane. So since we created our list, Tim, and we talk about how these are like our current hotness. We made these. I made this list like 3 months ago. I
Yeah,
would move
exactly.
this game down probably since I rated it. I don't. It would not be at number 16. I moved it to the bottom of this set of 10 intentionally.
Oh, sure. Sure. Yeah, I
It's just
mean,
a
there's already games that I have played this year that will at least be in my top 100, I think, because of the, I don't know. I mean, who knows? It's early, but I played some really awesome games so far this year, and I've been doing
nice.
much better about keeping track of it. I'm really looking forward to our
Ooh.
new to me 2024
Ooh.
list.
You spoiled one before the show. I already know what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is good.
Yeah. It would, that might even be in my top 50 next year because I could
Ooh.
see myself playing it a couple more times. You know what I mean? Like really being motivated to get it to the table.
We're gonna have a four-way crossover.
Right?
All right. That's Resurgence. Spoiler. Boom. It's in there. It's awesome. Resurgence is great. Hidden gem.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is. It is. No, it's
All
fine.
right.
We got a year before we'll get to that list of games. I
Yeah.
mean, 10 months, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, all right. 59.
59.
59, dude. I love co-op games with a hidden trader, and this one embodies one of the theme perfectly for one of my favorite horror
Ooh.
movies of all time. And my number 59 is The Thing, Infection at Outpost 31. Um, uh,
Oh, go on. Sorry.
no, 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 no. This game's a blast with the right crew. It's difficult. It can be challenging with if somebody is that is the thing, or two somebodies that are the thing really know what they're doing and can really throw like a wrench into the monkey works. And then the other thing is the or they could play it so straight that by the end of the game they end up on the chopper and can still win. I just love that there's a couple different ways for the bad guy to pull that off. Now, if you suss out who the thing is kind of early, it can get kind of tough. But what one of my favorite things is we have played this game and we've had people yelling at each other, accusing each other of horrible things. And what was amazing is that there's times where both people are absolutely wrong, and both guys were good guys, but they were so convinced that they were right that there was nothing you could do, while the thing just chuckles and wins the game. Um, it's not like a perfect game. It's not the best co-op ever, but this is one of my favorite movies, so that does add into it and feed into it. And again, playing it with some friends that really get into it, like any game, it enhances the experience, tenfold. So I have always had a really good time playing the thing Infection at Outpost 31.
It is. It is very fun. That's a great pick there.
And they do it in a way, right? Like you're going to go, oh, I got to go on a mission and I've got to take at least these 3 people or these 2 people. So it kind of forces you sometimes to take people that you think might be the thing. And then sometimes you're just taking people to see what they throw. Well, I'm going to test your loyalty this time. Let's see what happens. And,
right. Well,
so
I know they're good and I need one of those characters. But yeah, let me take Tim this time. I need to see if he'll try to throw sabotage into this one.
What's funny is I think it was the last time we played this game. I was infected. I started infected. I never threw off once in any scenario. Dan was convinced I was infected. And then when I started getting taken on missions, finally the other infected was going and he was throwing off and they kept thinking it was me because they had already had their minds made up that it was me. And I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not throwing off. I'm totally the thing, but I never threw off. Damn it. Again, you just come up, good stories, fun stories, as you come out through it. And, yeah, it's a good time.
Not kidding. We gotta play this one.
Yeah, we do.
We gotta play this one together. Yeah.
And Dave, there are blood tests, so yes, you can do blood tests too.
Blood tests, yeah. It's like so thematic to the movie too. It really is.
Yeah.
And the way that it spreads as the game goes on, it starts with 1 person, then it's 2, then it's 3, depending on the size of the group. It's just very, very thematic. And yes, you end up with some great stories out of this one.
Yeah, it's fun.
Good one.
All right,
so
Mike.
Once again, we're going to go from Tim's, very fun story. One of those games that you have memories about later because of the social interactions that you have, kind of like Cash and Guns, to another very crunchy game that I finally played this year in Brass Birmingham. I forgot that my screen was still shared. I was supposed to be not spoiling it. What's great is Patrick taught it. Your brother-in-law taught it to me at right behind me on this table over here. And it's great. It was the first time I played it. It is my signed deluxe copy with iron clays, which definitely enhances that game. I will tell you, stacking those chips on top of those things you're bidding for just feels great. And it's a fantastic game. I can see why the heaviness is in the strategy and not so much the rules. And that is why I don't rank it higher, because 1 play is not enough for me to indefinitely tell you exactly how much I love this game. I know it's a great game. I know I want to play it more. It's probably going to go in my top 50, but this is too heavy for me to definitely say that in 1 play, is what I'm telling you.
Right.
And sometimes that happens with heavy games. I got another one later on this list that is heavy. I played it once. I enjoyed it. Not quite good. Not quite sure it's a top 50. We'll find out, though. But yeah, Brass Birmingham, great game. Everybody already knows that.
I mean, it's number 1. Is it still number 1?
Yeah, it is still number 1.
Yeah.
After meeting Martin Wallace, which again, it's not like a humble brag. It is, but it was just so cool. It was just, and he was great. And some of the things he said I thought were funny and insightful. And he was really an awesome person to hear talk about the industry. And I prioritized playing his game, and I did, and it was it's great.
Yeah,
that specific game, of course. I've played his others.
That's one of his I haven't played, ironically.
I know you like his weird ones. That I say weird because they're not like his other games.
Yeah, no, right. Yeah, 100%. And I do have.
I mean, Australia kind of is in mechanics alone, but not
sure.
Not in theme. That's
no,
for sure.
Theme, it's wild. Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah. Alrighty, 58.
All right, I got another 1v many, except the one is a known quantity, with the exception of you don't know where they are, and that's the goal of the game. In Letters from Whitechapel, we are trying to capture Jack the Ripper. And man, there is something so satisfying when you nail it, and there's something so satisfying when you are saucy Jack and you get away. It's really, it's a really dark theme, but they try to really historically present as accurately as they can. The times, the map is very cool. It's very drab and tan, but I think it's very cool because it, to me, it just adds to the theme because it feels like you are you are detectives in Victorian England poring over, deciding where you're going to go and look for clues and maybe try to make an arrest. And the tension, the anticipation, is Jack there? Is he not there? You know, is great. This is a now it's an older game, right? It's like 12 years old now.
14, I thought maybe.
But I thought it was 2012, but maybe it's 10.
11.
Okay. But yeah, this game's really good. It's really solid. It still holds up. I play this game in a heartbeat. There's other hidden movement games that I like more, 1v many hidden movement games, but it doesn't matter. Like this is still just will always be played, always be in my collection. It's just it's a great game. It's a great game. It got bumped out of my 50 just because there are other ones that I've been playing more that I do like better. But if I was somewhere and somebody goes, "Hey, you want to play Letters from Whitechapel?" I'd be like, "Yeah, let's go." Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, I finally got to play this one last year at Bob's. It's good. It's just not one of my favorite mechanics, unfortunately. I think it's
Sure,
just way more fun to be the person that's hidden or doing the hunting or doing the escaping. And a
sure.
lot less fun if you're the team that's not and you are not successful. It's really fulfilling when you are, but when you're not, it can sometimes feel like a frustrating guessing game. So just my 2 cents. It's
Hey,
one of the reasons why hidden movement's not one of my favorites.
sure.
But I definitely appreciate why people love these. I'm the odd one in the group in regards to that.
You
That's
know what
okay.
though? Yeah.
What makes this all fun and different. So
No, yeah. Exactly right. Exactly right. We all have that fun Venn diagram of overlapping,
yes,
tastes
we do.
and style. And but the awesome thing though, Mike, is even though you're like, it's not my favorite kind of game, guess what? I've never heard you say no.
Right.
You
I
know?
would love to play that game again. I'd like to
So
be the Jack.
yeah.
So
Good. Well, as long as Bob's not playing, because Bob has a hard
but
time. Bob has a hard time not being the hidden guy in any of those games.
I know because it's not as fun. That's it's just not. It's way more fun when you're the guy doing the secret stuff.
Oh, it's so
So
stressful. It's so stressful.
I
I'd
know
almost
that's what
rather
makes
be
it
the
good.
hunter.
Uh, good stuff. All right, so once again, we're gonna go from Whitechapel with the experiences and the stories you talk about later
Mhm.
to another Euro. This one, which means nothing anymore. I got to stop using that term. Another strategy game, Coimbra.
Oh yeah.
Coimbra, I played for the first time in 22. The Smiths taught me. We were at Julia's. Oh, what horrible games. Ooh,
He's
yeah, I know. Yeah,
yeah. They're
Coimbra. It's awful. It's awful. I mean, it has tracks. I hate tracks, so naturally, it's got bidding. I hate
you
bidding.
hate bidding.
No,
It's
I
got
love
dice. You hate
tracks.
dice.
Yeah, you use the dice for bidding. Where you put them is, determines how strong you want these cards that you're recruiting. Whoever has the highest bid gets first dibs. Those cards have really fun synergies you're doing. They can be income on tracks, or they can give you in-game bonuses based on collecting sets of certain colors. The bidding mechanic is really, really fascinating. I love bidding in games. Show me how much you want it, and then let me outbid you.
Hmm.
It's just that's a thing that works for me in games. So Coimbra is fantastic. I really like the art style on this game
It's
too,
beautiful.
actually.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
I mean,
I
even
do.
just the characters, like that sort of kind of almost abstract, simplistic, maybe, but the coloring and the box, especially. It's a beautiful game. It's a very mechanically sound, and it's very unique for something I would in some well, it's got two Italians on the box. I think I'm safe calling it a Euro. But Coimbra is excellent.
You know what's funny is, you know what, for Wayne.
Oh wait, is Italy not in Europe anymore? Did I miss something?
No. For Wayne, real quick, I'll recap my three games that I've talked about so far. So Cashing Guns was my 60. The Thing, Infection Outpost 31 was my 59, and then my number 58 was Letters from Whitechapel.
Gaia Project, Brass Birmingham.
There we go. So this one's very similar to Coimbra in style, color palette, and location.
Who are we to 57?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So my number 57, like I was saying, very close even in theme to Coimbra. This is almost a crossover, Mike.
Wow.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre from Trick or Treat Studios. I had you leaning in
for a second. It's amazing how these lists are right now. This is amazing.
I had you leaning in. You're like, oh, what? I know how Mike's brain works. He's like, I like Coimbra. What game is like Coimbra? Like, have I played this game? What game is like this? Texas Chainsaw Massacre is nothing like Coimbra at all, as the name would imply.
I've been begging to play this.
This is really good. This is sort of like the anti-bag builder, right? You're building the bag because you're going to have to draw tokens, and you're trying to get action tokens out of this bag. But guess what? You are constantly, the board is filled with tokens that some are good and most are bad. And so as you're drawing these tokens out, you're getting maybe things that are going to move Bubba around, Leatherface. You might be getting things that'll move the family members around. They're blocking movement. They're chasing you around. They're doing all kinds of horrible things to you. Sam, there is not a written list for the 61 to 100.
Hold on, Sam. I have mine on a notepad doc here. I ranked 114. I'll send it to you on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, I could send him mine, I guess.
I know he's messing with us.
I know, right? He might genuinely want to know.
Maybe.
But anyways, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a completely cooperative game, super fun. There's some push your luck. You've really got to plan your stuff out right. We really enjoy playing on Slaughterhouse mode. I believe this is designed by Scott Rogers. He also designed a game that I haven't played yet, which is the Alien game, Fate of the Nostromo. Yeah, Dave, it seemed like that. I'm in like this Renaissance era for horror themed games. There's like a ton of amazing ones out there right now, and Trick or Treat Studios is behind a lot of them. Funny enough, we've got a video. Of all the things we mentioned that we were doing videos for and stuff, we've got a video for House of a Thousand Corpses coming out soon.
Yeah.
So another really fun, difficult co-op, but that time you're the Firefly family. Can't wait.
That's what I've heard, but I haven't played it.
Can't wait to show it off. But anyways, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, super fun. You guys are playing as characters from the movie. Those poor kids. Oh yeah, the bag. The
comes with this.
Yeah, it looks worse than it is, but yeah, skin bag, which then you pull the tokens out. Super fun, dark theme. It's really, for fans of the movie, you're really going to catch there's all these little references and Easter eggs in there. And, but you don't have to have seen the movie. Honestly, the movie is a classic, but at this point, it's also kind of dated. You're going to watch that movie and you're going to go, oh, I've already seen this in like 30 other movies. And it's like, yeah, but they were the first ones to do it. So you're seeing like, it's sort of like how people, us included, go, I don't always love Dominion anymore, but Dominion set the foundation for deck building games, right? And all these deck building games that I absolutely love and adore were, the bones are there from that, right? So literally the bones for horror, modern horror cinema is there in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, directed by Tobe Hooper, narrated by John Larroquette. Fun fact. Anyways, super fun game. I remember literally we were playing this one time, and Spencer, of all the people, it's like, Spencer, stop drawing out of the bag. He's like, well, I might be able to get. I'm like, dude, just stop it. You got to stop it. You're going to get us all killed. And sure enough, he drew out of the bag, and then Leatherface started chasing us all over the place. It was terrible and hilarious all at the same time. But really fun, really good, really dark.
Um, yeah. So Sam, we've actually done all of this completely out of order. Just to recap, we released our top 50. That's been out for a while. Then we did 100 through 51 on the live show, and we've taken 2 months to do that. So
Right.
our others are all out. This is literally the last one of the whole 100 that we're doing. So kind of out of order, but it just gave us easy content, I guess, for the live show, you know?
Well, and
So
games
there
that
you
we
go.
wanted to talk about though too, right?
Right.
Games we still wanted to shine a light on, but they just missed being in that top 50.
Oh yeah, I hate them.
Yeah, they're all
Like,
terrible games, Wayne. They're all
yeah,
terrible games.
they're all awful. All right, so we go from Tim's murderer theme game once again
Again, God,
to another.
this list is murder heavy. I feel like I should, all of my games have murder in them so far because Cash and Guns, you're shooting each other.
You know what's amazing about this is that my list is about to do a complete 180,
Mine too, but please
but
continue.
not yet, because I got Underwater Cities is my number 57.
Oh, good pick. Good pick.
Another one I finally played last year. I've had a lot of people at the rundown tell me this is better than Terraforming Mars. I agree with those people. This game is excellent. Another one where just need more plays.
Mhm.
I just got to play this more. Just the whole concept of building a tableau, that's there. The tableau is awesome. But also building this actual tangible underwater city on your
Mhm.
player board if I could find it, because it's just so fun to actually see this thing grow. You're growing out the city as you play. It just makes the whole thing more thematic, more it's an incredible game. It really is. Matching the cards to the place that you play your worker to get a bonus, that is an awesome mechanic. Man, I love this one. I just need more than one play on it. It's easily a top 50, but again, these heavier games like I'm not quite ready to say after one play that yeah, these are top 50s. They will. They'll get there. They'll get to
Oh,
the
but
top.
they deserve the love, man. That's a great
I
game.
know. Yeah, it's I played this one at your sister's. So yeah. That this game is just so good. And she had all the blinged out components too. It was
Oh yeah,
pretty
of course
sweet.
you did.
She had like 3D printed like kelp and stuff we were using. It was pretty awesome. Like holy crap, what version is this?
My
Mine.
gosh. Yeah. Yeah. No,
It was great.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, they're awesome. All right, you ready for
So
56?
there you go. Another crunchy pick for me. Let's go ahead and let Tim talk about another slasher flick.
Okay, going far, far, far away from Mike's, like I have the last couple, but not in the way you think this time. But my number 56 is unlike Underwater Cities. Underwater Cities is a good 2 hour play. It's very satisfying. It's not a knock on it, but it's 2 hour play. This game you can play in 15 minutes, and I've beaten Mike faster than that in this game, and that is Shards of Infinity. This is an amazing 1v1 game. What is it? Ultra Pro put this out. I absolutely love this game. It is, I mean, you can play more than 1v1, but for me, like just 1v1 is where it's at. And it's a badass game. It just really takes that the deck building and makes it dueling and fun and interesting, and the way you can build up your power so that some of your cards are going to fire off and do different things the more power you have. And you know, like any good deck builder, there's different factions that proc off of each other and different, you know, abilities that get really interesting, and there's champions that are going to come out and give you like ongoing abilities, and you can knock them out. Some of them you have to knock out before you can even hit and do damage. Just really interesting. The combinations you can come up with are really fun. And like any good deck builder, you know, like a Star Realms or anything like that, you bang through these, you can bang through a couple rounds pretty quick. And usually I like to think it's like best of three. because it can go that fast. Re-rack, go again. And but yeah, Shards is just such a solid game. Really great art. I just really appreciate that game and everything that it does. And it's always a good time, even when I lose, which I do pretty good at Shards. I'm pretty good at that one.
Yeah, of course this is Justin Gary, the Ascension designer, and
Hmm.
this is the one I think is underappreciated. I give this one an 8.5. Played it 21 times. I still rank it somewhere in my 20s. I freaking love this game. It is easily my favorite pure deck builder, where just give me a deck of cards and this is easily my favorite one.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I love the different play styles too. You could be the guy that goes champion heavy, and you just got
Mhm.
a whole bunch of constructs sitting in front of you. And you can supplement that by card draws. You can go with the insta kill mastery strategy. You've got one card that if you level that baby up, shut up, Tim. If you level that baby up, what Tim did to me, shut up. Uh, you level that thing up, it's an insta kill. It's
I'm
awesome.
I'm still doing infinite damage to Mike from that time. That was pretty good.
Fully damaged him. Yeah. So the heal strategy is extremely strong in this. Just don't go that strategy with 4 players. The game goes way too long. Keep
Oh,
it to
way
two
too
or
long.
three.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep
yeah,
it to
yeah.
2 or 3. 4 is too long. Yeah, we decided a while ago, Brian, that we were going to finalize this top 100. So
We just wanted to be able to put this list to rest.
like,
Uh,
we're done with it. Wash
we're
our hands. Move on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, they've been scattered between guests, and we have 6 guests over the next 6 weeks, so we had to get her done.
we had to, because otherwise we're getting it'll be like pitchers and catchers reporting, and the Cubs haven't signed a significant free agent yet. It's to be just like that. Um, we got like half a good one that with high potential. But where's Cody Bellinger at? I'm still waiting. Scott Boris,
Oh
uh,
my
quit being a
gosh.
dick. Um, so yeah,
It'd be like paying somebody a lot to run the show and then not actually having a show to run. But you know.
yeah, breaking up.
Anyway.
Not breaking up. We're finally climaxing. Is what we're doing. We're climaxing with our.
Let me go ahead and drink this totally non-alcoholic drink here.
You're welcome. Hey, David. Good to see you, man. All right, Mike.
Hey.
What is your 56?
Oh man. The crunchy ones continue. We're not switching gears quite yet. Great pick, Tim. I like your game better than mine. You win.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Well, yeah, but to be fair to you, my game is in your top 50. So yes, you do like.
yes, your game is in my top 30, Tim. So I
Hell yeah.
love your game.
Hell
You
yeah.
hate this one, so I'm just going to apologize. But I got the deluxe of Darwin's Journey, and I loved it. I think Darwin's Journey is fantastic. It is again a heavy raunchy worker placement game, and missteps will cost you.
Oh yeah.
There's virtually no luck in this game, so yeah, you need to have an idea of a plan early, or it can cost you like some heavier punishing games can. But if you are able to formulate a strategy in this game, you will find it incredibly satisfying, because in Darwin's Journey, you need to research these animals, publish that research in the museum before others, because, well, nobody cares if you're the second person to make the discovery.
Nobody
You
knows the
got to be the
third
first.
person. Yeah, nobody knows who the third person to discover a tortoise was, right? It's
Right. You got to be the first. So, and that reigns true in this game, right? Because the first person that does it gets money. The other people get something not as good as money. I can't remember. I played it once. It's been a while, and it is heavy. So pardon. But it is good. I just need to play it again. Again, a heavy one that more plays. It's going to move up. And that's just kind of where some of these landed here. It's sort of weird. I didn't pre-plan that. I'm like, I love these games, but I don't know how much.
Right. Right.
Only in a good way. Not like I'm expected to be disappointed by these. Like, the brakes on moving this guy in my top 50. This is too heavy to rank that high. I
So
gotta digest this baby again, but it's really good.
I want to defend myself like real quick though. Here's the thing: is Thundergriff Games made a beautiful, amazing, very well designed game that is very punishing, and it is difficult to come back if you make mistakes early. Yours truly. And then I did get absolutely hosed by that seal market consistently because I could never go early enough to get the seals that I needed. And then when I could get them, they were priced out because they were lower down, you know what I mean, on that track. So they were more expensive because the ones towards the top are cheaper, if I'm remembering correctly. So anyways, that made it very tough for me. And it's a very long game. So to sit there for 3 hours and, 40 minutes into it, know that you're completely out of it was really, really a hard experience. But at no time would I ever criticize the effectiveness of the design. There are so many really interesting choices, but I just did not have a good time when I played it. But yeah, no, I mean, otherwise, I think they did a great job. It's just one of those, like, that game's for Mike and wasn't really for me. But yeah, it's a great pick, man. I think it's a great pick. I think it's well deserved. I could see if you got to play that a couple more times and you keep having that same experience that you're having, I could see it in your top 50. Just knowing you and the games you like.
Yeah, I just really I like those seals that you were struggling to pick up are very fundamental to this game because as you put those seals on your workers, that increases the things they can do. They can go to different spots.
Yes.
And yeah, that seal market.
I'm gonna club a seal to get a better deal. Yeah. And if you know what movie that is, we're friends.
And I love in the deluxe, they feel like wax seals.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, they're really nice. The production's great on this one. I really like the art style on this one.
I think the board's great. The art style's great. The player boards were cool. I mean, aesthetically, I've got no problems with this game. It's just sitting down and playing it.
It's gorgeous. I can't wait to play it again. But yeah, and it's already, it's less than a year old, and it's ranked 161. That's something that is hard to do now with the sheer amount of games that come out each year. That's impressive.
I'm gonna argue something real quick. Here's Tim's controversial hot take, real fast.
Ooh,
because I see this in the as somebody who used to really, really, really like follow cinema like way more deeply than I did because I did it before. It was my hobby before board games, and I see this same thing in every hobby that I've ever been into. Is there's these people that have to have the sort of this elitist sort of point of view where, like, if a game is too light or if a movie is too light, well, it can't be. It can be fun to watch, but it can't really be quality, can it? Right? And so I think that there are people that are intimidated by the depth and the crunch in games like Darwin's Journey and Stefan Feld game, a lot of Feld games and stuff. And they go, well, I've got to rate them high because they're classics and they're, and it's like, no. You're allowed to not like it. You're allowed to not like it. You're allowed to say, didn't land with me. But I feel like sometimes people get a little like, it's sort of, it's like their way of being a hipster and going, well, if you understood it, you'd like it. You just didn't get it. But I think that people are sometimes afraid to say that they don't like stuff or to go out on a limb and you feel peer pressure to be like, well, yeah, I liked it. Like, no, you could say, no, I didn't have fun. Didn't have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, it's like in my top 50, I have, a lot of lighter games, and it's because they're the games I get played and have a fantastic experience playing. Are they quality wise? maybe as good as some of the other ones, maybe not, but it's my list. It's the games I like. It's the stuff I get played. And, when I'm having a game day, it's, it is what it is. Anyways, that's my soapbox.
Real quick, just to add to that, we've talked about how it seems like there aren't as much coverage for, and I mean sheer amount of channels that cover them, like games.
Right.
Like every chance we get at stuff like that, we're like, hell yeah. It's just about having fun. And that's like that having fun, that's a quality game.
Hell yeah.
And it's amazing that you mentioned this here because the 5 games I just mentioned, that's the heaviest 5 games anywhere on my entire top 100. And I'm about to prove that with our next 5.
Nice.
It's amazing what this list is doing. It just happened this way, and it's incredible. Good segue, Tim. Let's get to this next 5.
You're welcome.
What you were going to add something there?
No, go for it. No, the segue was perfect. Let's go, brother. You got it, man.
Alrighty.
All right, my number 55. I'll get straight to the point. This game's awesome, and for the price point, it's incredible. I think everybody should have it, and that is Dice Forge. I played Dice Forge, and the components were so good and so. Sorry,
he missed the list a couple weeks ago. What a shame. Or last week. Sorry.
But anyways, the components and everything for Dice Forge and like how beautiful the art is, the quality of those, like the good, fun, chunky feel of those die, the die faces, the inserts really good. And the price point on this game is incredible for the value in there. I played Dice Forge. I remember when I played Dice Forge for the first time and I was afraid to ask the guy who brought it how much it cost, because I was like, oh, this is probably like a $70 game. And I think it was $30, $35 MSRP. You know what I mean? Like it was cheap. It was dirt cheap. And I'm like, this is a freaking steal. I gotta get this game. But in Dice Forge, you basically, you're going to everybody's turn, you're rolling your dice and you're gaining those resources. And then when it's your turn, you get to roll your dice and you also get to spend those resources. And then you're going to add, dice or different faces to your die. You're going to then, pick a spot on the board to go to. You might battle a monster to get some points, to get an effect, maybe like a reroll, things like that. Just really cool, really fun engine building game where you're customizing your dice. I know I played one other one that just did not do what Dice Forge does. So for me, this is the one that I say is the first one that I played, because it's the first one that I played that really actually made it work really well. Great game. You think that this game's hard to put away, try playing Dice Rounds. Also, really good, really amazing game. But man, that's a lot to sort and put away. It's a lot to sort and put away. Oh, hey, look, easy to play on BGA. Wayne, I feel like we should be getting a Dice Forge game going.
Yeah, it is pretty solid on BGA. This is one of those engine builders that I always feel like is you don't get to run your engine once you have it how you want it, and I always play 10 rounds instead of 8. I felt that way after the first game, and then I played a couple games with 10, and I think it's a much better game that way. So
sure.
I just feel like a lot of times I finally get those faces I've been wanted, and I got them, but I didn't get to roll them, or I only got to roll them once, and I didn't land the side that I wanted.
Right. Yeah.
So that's just my opinion. It's a great game.
I love it. I think it's really good. I love it.
All right. So.
Oh, you know what? I just realized that with Chris's comment, Dice Forge also ties into my earlier pick of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because they're also popping off faces in that one. Hey, yo. Please continue.
Oh, that might have been my favorite transition yet. I love that one. All right, I'm not in the crunchy area anymore, but we are quickly gonna shift into the lighter picks of my list. But first, my number 55, I played with Tim for the first time. Tyrants of the Underdark. This game is so good, and I know Tim has been dying to get his hands on a first edition copy that still has those plastic figures instead of the cardboard ones they replaced it with in the second edition. Even though I know it's got the expansion, I'm with you. Like I now that I've played with those, like why wouldn't I want those?
I'm still trying to find a damn first edition. I'm probably gonna have to just end up paying more than I want to for it, but
yeah, but yeah, there you go.
I will give anybody watching. I will give an uneven trade to get my hands on a copy of this. I really
well, I better not show them prices then. My bad. But yeah, played this for the first time with you at Julia Con right before an epic game of Ankh, by the way, or after, excuse me. Yeah, this one's good. I love how it's deck building plus territory control in the D&D universe. It's just really good. It's really really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I like stuff with my deck builders. Like pure deck builders is not so much my thing, and that's
Sure.
why I stick to Shards of Infinity when it comes to that. But yeah, as far as deck builders with stuff going on, this one's one of my favorites. The territory control feels really good, and I love how you can. What is that? You put the cards in your graveyard, and you get those extra points
Yeah,
at the end of the game out of
yeah,
them.
something like that. Yeah, you vault, or I forget
Vault
what.
them. There we go.
Maybe it's vault them. I don't know for sure, but it's something
I
like
hate
that.
how I hate how the terminology starts to run together if you play too many games that are similar. So anyway, but it's awesome. Yeah, Tyrants of the Underdark. If you like a deck builder
God,
with some other
yeah,
stuff, it's one of the best.
I love that game. I really do. I really do. It's very cool.
It's fantastic. Half of oh no, he's got a point. We need more thumbs. Demand them. Demand them, I say. All right.
Well, we know Charlwood isn't giving a thumb.
No. He hates our list. He's the one that always gives the thumbs down. We get one every week. I hate it, but it's there. At least we know him.
Hey, you know what though? Real quick, shout out to him.
I
We
get
were
it.
at PoppyCon like 2 weeks ago, and had the opportunity to sit and play games with Chris most of the day. And most people would find that a miserable experience, but I really had a great time. Uh, no, it was cool. It's always good to see Chris, and I did beat him at After Us. I have a certificate to prove it that he signed. Um, but yeah, that was really a fun day of playing board games all day. All right,
It was good times.
54.
All right. 54 it is.
All right, my 54 is a oldie but a goodie, but it's kind of funny, Mike, because I'm going to stay in the world of D&D for this one, and that is Lords of Waterdeep.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, I want to play with these Scoundrels of Skullport expansion.
Always.
But I play this game on the app still. If people want to play it in real life, I will play it at the drop of a hat. I love this game. Yes, it's simplistic, and yes, there are games that do similar things now, but Waterdeep was one of the first ones to do it, and I absolutely loved it. This game is just solid for me. It'll never go away because it's just always a good time. It did great things. It's straightforward enough that I could get like my wife to play it, and she doesn't care about the D&D theme, but she really likes the worker placement and the way you can expand the board by adding, those extra buildings and those worker placement spots. That's one of my favorite things. But yeah, I just play the hell out of this game. I think it's great. I love it. Sometimes when I play the app, I just try like all kinds of crazy stuff just to see, and you can goof around with the difficulties of the bots if you're playing with bots. There's been many a time, because my wife does enjoy this game, that we will just throw a show on TV. She'll have her iPad, I'll have my iPad, and we will play and we'll just sit and play, like that way. Because then we don't have all the setup and teardown, and stuff like that. But yeah, man, really great game. Love it. I feel like the grumpy old gatekeepers try to keep this bad boy down, but this game is still damn good, and
Oh my
is
gosh. Yeah.
just
It's a great
outside of my
game.
top 50. Yeah.
This was my gateway game. This was the game that sucked me into the hobby. I played it for the first time just over 10 years ago now. Then we played Seasons, and then I asked to play Lords of Waterdeep again.
Hell yeah,
That was
man.
the night, and we did. And I went and bought it 3 or 4 days later. I started showing some of my friends that weren't into board games yet. This was the one, and it still holds up. This game is just absolutely amazing to this day. When I played a few years after that, when I played Caverna for the first time, Caverna became my favorite worker placement. But then I started playing Caverna a bit more on BGA here lately. And I moved Lords of Waterdeep back ahead of Caverna because of all the variables that are at play here. You really can't play every game exactly the same way because every quest that comes out can give you a different passive ability, and there's so many of them. That quest deck is huge, and so many of them give you these amazing different abilities that completely change your strategy every single game. And it's that variability that makes this one hold up to 28 plays I've had of this game over the last 10 years. Caverna, everything is static and it's the same every game. It does not change. And while it's a great game, this one has more lasting power because of all of the variables, all the intrigue cards that could come out. It's amazing. Great pick.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. I love the game. I'm glad to see some other people love it too. Because, and here's the thing is there are people, Mike, and this was my point earlier, people that would be like, well, you can't have Caverna. You can't have Waterdeep higher than Caverna. Caverna is just a better game. And maybe Caverna is definitely a deeper game, but your list is your list. Put the games on there you like, and the ones you have fun. And in some games for both of us, right? Waterdeep was very early on in my gaming experience as well. It's like I'm gonna always hold that game near and dear because of how it helped pull me into the hobby. It wasn't my first game, but it was like my fifth, you know. So to there's always just gonna be some love and some respect for that, right? So yeah. What
For
up,
me,
Facebook user?
it's Jeff. What's up, Jeff? Thanks for tuning in, man.
Right on.
I switched to the Facebook page so I can see it when they come in.
Oh, sweet.
Bold strategy. It's this. I'll summarize it with this. And I'm with you, Wayne. And here's why. It really comes down to this. When I play Caverna, I can decide before the game's set up. I'm going to go Ruby strategy this game.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many different options in this game. They're all the same every game. I could do that. Unless somebody else beats me to it, then I'm pivoting and I'm going, okay, I'll go with the adventuring strategy this game.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot pre-plan a strategy in Lords of Waterdeep. You do not know what quest cards are going to come out. You don't know what Lord card you're going to get. That changes every time you play.
And you don't know
That's
what
why it
buildings
has more lasting power to me.
You don't know what buildings are going to come up. You don't know who's going to build them. I've had games where we built so many buildings. Yeah, dude.
The building strategy is a blast. There's a new worker placement spot, and it's mine, and it's way better than all those. But if you go there, I get stuff. Just
love it.
So good. It is so good, man.
I want to play it right now.
It's never going to leave my top 50. This is truly one of the greatest games ever made, and I'll die on that cross, Tim.
Bob, it's a family show, so I won't say exactly what I'm going to say, but you can go, yourself. No,
all right.
I have tried Jameson Midgard, and I like games that I enjoy. I'll just say it that way.
Oh man, this thing is definitely a relic now. This is 10 years old. Oh my gosh.
What is?
Oh, wow. So, my number 54. We officially pivot, ladies and gentlemen. I am done with the worker placement games and the Birminghams. And you're going to get a little bit more of a taste of some of the games I like. I love to goof around. And I love One Night Ultimate Werewolf. My first group I ever met. One, I met them through BGG. I literally messaged a guild. And I knew a guy that knew a guy also. And they welcomed me into their home, having never really met me. And this group, we played One Night Ultimate Werewolf at the start of every game night, every week for about 4 months. And they were all really fun and really good at it. And yes, I count every time a winner is declared. Um, every time a winner is declared, I count that as a play. Okay, werewolves win. Great. That's a play. Don't care if it's 10 minutes long. That's why, yes, I have 147 plays in this game.
Ooh.
That's actually not even all of them. That doesn't even count Daybreak. I logged those separately. That's also over 100. So I'm close to 300 plays of One Night Ultimate Werewolf. I love it. I don't care about. I love just shouting and trying to convince people that my point is better than others. That's why I now love Blood on the Clock Tower. I'll still play this to this day. I still think it's fun. One of the more fun things you can do in this game is playing it with parents and kids, and then getting their kids to lie to their parents and pulling it off successfully. That is a blast. So I still love this game immensely. I haven't played it in a while, which is sad, but I will not stop enjoying it. One Night Ultimate Werewolf. I haven't really played any of the other versions. I've played all the almost all the expansions, not superheroes, because that's basically just rethemed original.
Sure.
Daybreak. I've played Vampire. I've played Alien. I think Alien's probably my favorite expansion, although the Vampire does some stuff with the lover and that's kind of cool that Blood on the Clock Tower uses in some of its roles. Um, love social deduction and love just trying to bluff people. It's a blast.
You know what, Mike? I've been thinking because I normally come out and just say I hate One Night. I want to try it one more time. I want to play it. I want to play with somebody that's passionate about it. And I have not played Dungeon Saga. Have you played Dungeon Saga, Mike?
No, I have not.
Okay. Oh, Deception in Hong Kong is so damn good.
That's a good one. Mine's Blood on the Clock Tower.
Bob says he prefers dice placement, resource management, contract fulfillment, engine builders with anthropomorphic animals. If only we knew of a game that would like have at least one or two of those qualities. I mean, we can't expect one game to check all those boxes, right? That would be impossible.
Yeah.
But you know, Sam's gonna get hurt because there's like two social deduction games that Bob does like, and Cult of the Deep is one of them at least. But Bob did get caught. He did get caught in his I hate social deduction.
And while there's not a bingo sheet, I just, especially while I was on the show, one of the coolest things about being in Alaska was seeing Sam's game at a game store there, knowing that thing had to take a barge to get there.
Yeah.
You cannot drive cars to Ketchikan, Alaska, and Cult of the Deep was in that store. I was freaking blown away by it. I know Sam was too. I just wanted to throw that out there as awesome. Freaking Alaska, man. Town of 700 people. And that game sitting there next to Wingspan.
Sam, do me a favor. Hurry up and design that game that Bob was just talking about. And then
please.
Have it like ship and fill like hopefully in like the next year or so.
Yes, please. Please. Yes.
Are we ready for number
we
53?
Are. No, we're plugging shamelessly. 53 it is.
Okay, 53.
It could have. Oh, I missed it. I meant to hit this one, which could have been a dog sled. I don't know.
Could have been a dog sled. And Chris is lying. He's definitely the werewolf.
And Chris, we've already reached the bottom of the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're already there, buddy. Join us on the way back up, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Anybody that is backed Forges of Ravenshire, it sounds like an update is coming out soon. So, or it's already posted. So check your emails after you're done watching the show. So my number 53, here's the thing, man, is I love, and I know Bobby does too, difficult co-ops. This is one that we've only beaten once. It's the second hardest co-op I own. I love the theme. I think it's fantastic. And I'm talking about Black Orchestra. This game is hard as hell, but the way that it mixes history, right? And you're just kind of right alongside, adjacent to history is so cool. It's so good that even Sushi had to come up and get a look. But Black Orchestra, like the again, we talk about like some of these games and we love the way that they look and the components and all this stuff. Black Orchestra is one of those things. And what we're doing is we are in the conspiracy that we're trying to kill Hitler. This game is based on all of these assassination attempts, failed assassination attempts or potential plots, that maybe never got like too much traction. But just like the game, a lot of your plots are not going to get too much traction because bad stuff just keeps happening. This game's really difficult, but I really enjoy it. I just love the intensity, the pressure. The theme is incredible. Yeah. You're playing real characters. You're looking at historical events. And Sam, wonderful to see you, man. And
always a pleasure.
We'll get you the list. Nice. But yeah, Black Orchestra is so solid, right? The only thing it would differentiate from history, like actual history, is sometimes the events. I guess they do it in a way that the events kind of they're close enough to each other that you can't, maybe this didn't happen exactly at this time, but everything's very close. And yeah, Tom Cruise, this is like Valkyrie, right? You can try to put the bomb under the table. You can play as that character. You're a little bit taller, but you don't run as fast. But yeah, man, Black Orchestra is really good, really interesting. These are kind of games that, like, if I was like a history teacher, like I would try to get students to play a game like this, just so you could really see, that side of it, like that, just one tiny little slice, that one aspect of what was going on. And sometimes movies or TV shows will do this where like there's a big main event, that's happening. And then the rest of the movie is like all these little side stories that are going around, like what's going on right outside of what you just saw. And Black Orchestra feels like that to me, right? It's everything that's just out of frame, and very cool and love it.
I gotta play this one. This one sounds good.
Oh, it's good. It's tough.
I don't really remember you guys talking about this at all.
It's been out a while. It's tough. It's really tough. The problem is with the show, it's just hard to get back to some of these older games sometimes.
Right. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Struggle's real. 2016. And the board game world, yeah, that's old. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, David, you're right. There was lots of Germans that were they saw him for the monster that he was, and they were trying to take him down. Yeah.
All right. Continuing on my complete 180 here. The 180 is official. I will not be returning from here on because I absolutely love games that allow me to bluff and negotiate and backstab and screw people over and have a story to tell, which is why I love Cosmic Encounter. It's funny because I just mentioned two games that Tim and I traded. I gave Tim Cosmic Encounter and he gave me Underwater Cities. I love them both. I just didn't get to play Cosmic Encounter for years. And I'm like, well, if I give it to Tim and he wants to play it, he knows I will.
Hell yeah.
I love this game. And I just love, I love how you can be like, oh yeah, I'm willing to negotiate, absolutely. And then one person does not play the negotiation card and gets totally screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
I love opportunities like that in games. I'm just not a deceitful person, and so when you just give me a construct to where I am encouraged to lie through my teeth, I just love it. I love it. It's just a really good game, and it's not without its flaws. It's a very old game that's been around for almost
40
50
years.
years
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But and then wild swings and multiple people can win, and technically everybody can win. Don't care. It just I have fun. I have fun playing this game. And I appreciate games that are simply fun to play and are not mechanically perfect. This is a perfect example of that specifically. Cosmic
Absolutely.
Encounter is really good. We got to play this.
Yeah, we
Got to
do.
play it.
Maybe in a few weeks when we have
Hey,
guests
that
in
could
town.
be a good one. Oh, somebody is really desperate for attention here. My goodness, I'm
Oh,
getting paws in the face. This is why Couch Mike is returned, by the way. Attention whore. Sorry, it's true. All right.
hey, your puppers loves you.
I know. She may actually have to go outside. That's a possibility. So we're going to check while you do 52.
Mike, you're going to be real sad. You're going to miss my 52 because you love this
Ooh,
game.
ooh, let me hear what it is.
Decrypto.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So go
I
ahead,
converted him.
let your girl out. I'll talk real quick about
I
Decrypto.
converted him. It was me.
Mike did introduce us to this video. Mike versus Tom Vassal, Cosmic Encounter. I don't know what that is. But Decrypto is really fun. You break into two teams. You've got a series of clues. And, you've got a sequence in which the whole team can see the words, but you're trying to get people to, or no, wait, no, but they don't know the sequence. And so you're trying to get people to guess the sequence. And then they can hear your clues, but the other side is trying to figure out your words. You've only got so many times that you can get it wrong. And then at the end, you can try to guess the other side. I really enjoy this game. I like word games quite a bit. I like the puzzle. You get punished for getting too clever, but you can't be too obvious. So there's this really fun thing of like walking down, this fine line. And also like a lot of times, kind of like So Clover, it's very easy to overthink it because there's so many times where it's like, oh well, yeah, it could be this, and your group is saying what the sequence is, and they're saying it the right way, but then they go, but it could be, and it's like, why don't you guys just shut up and just go with that one? But you can't say anything. You just got to sit there while they go through and talk themselves in circles and circles, and you hope that they just come back around to the correct answer. Yeah, Decrypto. I think that's more like a vampire hunter game where you're trying to get the vampires out of their crypt, right? But yeah, Decrypto is really good, really fun. Really, really, really glad that Mike kind of bothered us and bothered us and bothered us until we played it and got to play it. Because, oh, excuse me, I picked up my copy like on the last day of Origins, and oh, I see. Cosmic Encounter was number one game. Right on. Good for him. Um, and I can see the problem with Cosmic Encounter being a popularity contest ish, but that's the workaround is that everybody can win. But anyway, so that's why Decrypto sucks and was like one of the worst experiences. But I had to put it on my list so that Mike would stay on the show. Oh, hey, Mike, welcome back.
Oh, wow. What's going on?
Welcome back.
What were you saying about my favorite word game?
Yeah. No, it's really fun. It's really fun. I did say I was really glad you pestered us to finally play it. Kept bringing it around. Your dogged persistence paid off, and I believe multiple people in the group now own the game. I think Bob's got it too, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think what it does and no other word games do is as the game progresses, uh, the vagueness in which you can give clues changes every round based on we're about to lose or they're about to win. So I got to be kind of vague here because they can instantly win. And that adds that sort of extra nuance to the game. Knowing the people that you're gaming with and being able to use inside jokes because you can use multiple words or even sentences in this game. It's I just don't know other word games that offer that when you play them. It gives me something other word games do not.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's great. Hence, it's my 52.
Yeah, I think it moved into my top 30 this year. And you're right, David. Yeah, Cosmic Encounter was Tom's number one for a long time. Yeah.
I thought it was Vasco da Gama. Just kidding.
I don't know what is now. He still ranks it high, but it's not as one anymore. But it's a blast. All right. So shoot, I gotta grab my keyboard. I hide it. All right. So we're talking about games that are a blast with the right group. And I played this for the first time. I don't know if Tim realizes this. We have a crossover because my number 52 is The Thing, Outpost at 31.
Yeah, baby.
I got to play this with Patrick and Bob and Aaron and some of their friends. And in the very first round, Aaron was pegged as the imitation. Like the first opportunity she had, she threw a sabotage card in. And then no other group did it. So when we put her in another group, she did it again. So very quickly spoiled her role. But why this list and this game took an epic turn is because Patrick, being the teacher and the host and the more experienced player of this game, was kind of quarterbacking in a very fair way as far as, well, we should do this because of this, this, and this. Not like, Mike, do this. I'm not saying that kind of quarterback.
No. Yeah,
guiding the game for the non-imitations that we assumed we all are. Until the last round when Patrick flipped to an imitation and won this thing, but was still quarterbacking it, and nobody saw it coming. So while I love that this game does provide these like epic stories and that imitation moving or spreading is thematic, it kind of sucks because you can't see that coming when it happens in the last round.
Mm-hmm.
There was no.
This game is flawed, but it's fun, and that's the important thing.
I had a blast. That's why it's here after one play. It was so incredibly fun. I just had a blast playing it. That's where this list is flipped. These are fun games. And it's so incredibly thematic. And especially after you and Dan talking up that movie and then finally watching it. I told you I don't sit and watch a whole lot of movies, Tim. I watched The Thing 3 times last year. It's awesome. And then seeing how thematic the game was, I'm like, oh my God. I'm gonna put this one in my collection eventually.
The Op's got a nice version of it now. So for a minute it was hard to get and expensive. And the Op did a really nice job with the reprint. So
yeah, second edition, readily available. And I even want to try the newer version as well.
Yeah, I do too. Dan picked that up at Origins a year ago or 2 years ago, and
I'm sorry, my headset disconnected for a second. Hello?
Yep, I can hear. We can hear you.
Can you hear?
Good.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Sorry. I didn't catch what you said. My headset disconnected.
Oh, I said Dan got the other version of it.
Gotcha.
But we haven't played it yet.
I want to try that one. And Fathomable is really good too. That's one I want to play as well. Again as well. But I think it's just the story. It was just very memorable.
Yeah.
And sometimes those stories and memories, that's what lasts. That's what stands out. That's what makes you move these games above others, like Brass Birmingham, which is a clearly much better designed game, but that experience was far more memorable. Although I enjoyed Brass Birmingham a lot, I still have fairly fond memories of how the flow of that game went and the accusations, and I love that in game, so it's more memorable.
Well, the stand-up moments, again, I can just in my brain, I can hear Patrick laughing. Like that laugh when he laughs really loud, like cuz he's got that laugh. Like I can hear that laugh when everybody saw that, when he did the reveal that he was an imitation. And then everybody starts yelling at him and cussing at him. You know what I mean? Like it's great. And then him just going, "What?" You know?
Flawed but fun. Okay, I'm glad I was here for that. Is it Valentine's Day? Um,
Is it? It is. What?
yes, it is. What?
Huh? You asking made
Friday.
me confused real quick.
Just so happened I was free, so I'm here. Oh, she is trying to drink the whiskey, enjoying the smell of this whiskey.
There we
Wow.
go.
I've learned something. I haven't seen her do that yet. All right, moving on. Our last game we're going to talk about in our top 100. Well, for 10 months at least.
Mhm. By sheer coincidence, Mike, this is the perfect game for today. Not because it's a love game, but because pitchers and catchers are reporting this week. My game is baseball highlights. What is it? 2945? What?
2045.
2045.
Far
That's
into the
what
future.
I went way into the future. Yeah, I
They're not even
really
programmed anymore.
right. I really love this game. Also, play the app. I own a physical copy of this game, but I play the app a ton, and I just play against computer. But this is the closest thing to having a baseball simulator. It's not 100% perfect, but I really enjoy like the free agency. I love the sort of that strategy of building that deck and then just hoping that those cards kind of come out at the, what I mean, at the right time, and you get what you need. And and it's got like a fun kind of rock paper scissors mechanic when you've got like the robot versus the cyborg versus the human, natural as they call them. And so some are automatically better against others and this and that. You've got the different stats, and then they have the mixing of the names. So there's all of these famous baseball player names in there with like the wrong first names, and you'll see the fun. You can pick out as many of those Easter eggs as you want. But very cool. And yeah, nobody's as fanatical about it as Philip Millman. I want to meet that man. I enjoyed his touring with the trophy and him regaling people of the tales. Like that was one of my favorite things going on.
What was the trophy's name?
I don't remember.
It has a name.
In the year 2000. Anyway. Yeah, Berkey's got it now. But yeah, it's just an awesome game. I love it. I love playing it. I love baseball. Even though my Cubs disappoint me constantly. But it's just a really fun, it feels old-timey yet futuristic at the same time, And so super cool, very good.
Wait,
much love.
No, that's not
Nope,
him.
that is certainly not it.
No, I just saw a trophy at the bottom, and I'm like, that's got to be no, it wasn't. I try not to show people's faces unless we've like specifically addressed them.
Oh, sure.
When I find these pictures, there's not a lot of pictures of this game that don't
include
people.
To be fair to you, that person put his picture on BGG, so
yeah, those obviously different, but in general, I try to focus on the games, not people I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, baseball highlights. Mike, have you played?
I have. It's just been a long time. It was like Origins 2016.
Oh yeah.
Long time. I need to play this one again. Obviously, I love the sport. So
Yeah, I'll bust it out sometime, man. If we're ever just you and I, like we could. It doesn't take that long, so.
I got to go back to this one. I laughed quite a bit when this was first posted, and it just wasn't a good time. But the Disney themed after the Empire idea, you're defending against the stroller pushing horde. I'm
Mhm.
loving that.
We played that a few weeks ago, man. As somebody that has pushed a stroller at Disney, and I've been
I
part of
need
that horde.
relate. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, I was the one slightly big enough to be out of the stroller last time I was there. So, oh man, good stuff. Good stuff.
All
All
right, Mike,
right.
send us out with a bang.
Wow, I'm going to. We're sticking on theme here. We're going with sci-fi social deduction, Tim. Talked about this one a few times. It's one I've really been trying to get to the table and haven't been. I love Dark Moon.
Oh yeah.
Dark Moon. Talk about having just crazy stories where you're done and you just sit there and you talk for 20 minutes with the other people at the table trying to figure out, like, well, when you do that, when you did this, I thought you were actually the infected. And they were like, no, I just only had negative dice because
Yeah.
you got to put positive dice out to do any good for your team because you're trying to repair this ship that's stranded on a moon of Saturn, Titan, and you're trying to repair your ship and get off of that moon. Problem is somebody's become infected and you're trying to figure out who, and they're the person that's trying to not repair the ship so it doesn't go anywhere. Because if you don't fulfill all of the requirements, then the team loses and the infected win.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love is statistically, you're not going to be able to repair the ship because out of 6 sides, 4 of them are negative and 2 are positive. So
Yeah.
even when you roll 4, statistically, yeah, there's a decent chance you may not have a single positive die to put out there. But what I love is the instant somebody puts a negative die on that board, Tim's infected. It's gotta be Tim for the only reason being he just put a negative die out, and it may be the only thing he rolled. But just the fact that the suspicion starts instantly. I love that in social deduction games where it's just like so fast the accusations start. And it just never lets go. And I have seen some absolutely epic infected reveals. You want to try to stay revealed if you're infected in this game. Like, yeah, sabotaging the ship and all that, or not sabotaging, but not being able to repair, failing those repairs is actually very valuable in this. But when you get infected and you reveal, you have these like epic new actions you can do, and you can just completely blow this board up. And I've
Mm-hmm.
just seen that happen. I'm infected. Blam, there goes the shield. Blam, there goes the command center. Blam, I win, by the way. Just awesome, epic kind of stuff I've had in this one. Highly recommend using the Shadow Corporation expansion. Now you've got an additional win condition. You can have a vote, and 3 people can leave on an escape pod, depending on your player count. So now you've got this instant win option there. And at any time, somebody can call a vote and try to get 3 people on this escape pod. Naturally, if one's infected lose. So you
Mm-hmm.
got to be real sure before you decide to vote on that escape pod. And I think that expansion really adds a lot to this game. But Dark Moon, one of my favorite social deduction games ever, just really fun. And I just end up those discussions after the game. Just love it. Love it.
Yeah, I love the debriefs on games like this. Yeah, great pick. Really, really great pick. BSG
Just
Express.
it's been too long, man. It's been too long. Several of these, it's been a while. Well, a lot of your picks.
Oh, sure.
Cos-
Sure, sure, sure.
Cosmic though, Dark Moon. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, we need to
Awesome
get a
way to
game of
round it
water.
out.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Solid list tonight. Let's run through them
Yeah,
one last time.
Yes, that's gotta happen.
So I'm going to go with my 60 through 51 real quick. I've got Cash and Guns, The Thing, Infection at Outpost 31, Letters from Whitechapel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Shards of Infinity, Dice Forge, Lords of Waterdeep, Black Orchestra, Decrypto, and Baseball Highlights 2045.
It really came out this way. My crunchy ones: Gaia Project, Brass Birmingham, Coimbra, Underwater Cities, Darwin's Journey, 60 through 56. Medium, Tyrants of the Underdark, Social Deduction, One Night Ultimate Werewolf, Cosmic Encounter, The Thing, Crossover, and Dark Moon. It really came out like that.
That's solid, man. That is
What a
solid.
fun flip of lists. That was a fun section of this list.
One of my top 10 people eater games. Oh, well, that was our food games. I did still have cannibalism on the list, so
Oh, nice.
we're it's Chainsaw.
Oh, duh. Nice. Good stuff.
But you know, while I will be sad to see the top 100 finally come to an end, I am really looking forward to the upcoming stuff that we've got. Like next week's top 80s characters from the 80s and 90s. It's gonna be wild. That's gonna be really. You're gonna go some really interesting places with those lists.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And the fun thing is that you and Kim and I all come from like, I mean, we just have different upbringings, right? And different sort of experiences. So it's going to be really interesting to see how those lists are shaped. Mine won't be nearly as dark as like most of my games on tonight's list, I don't think. Maybe one. But for the most part, like this is going to be really fun. I love these kind of wild left field lists because they can go anywhere, right? It's sort of like the robots one with Seppi, or when we did like sci-fi stuff with Reed last time. So yeah, it's going to be great, man. It's going to be really pretty good. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Evan, I bet I don't know if you were on earlier when I mentioned this. The interesting thing about Gaia, I got more into it because of BGA. I was a Terra Mystica player for the longest time online, and so yeah, it's not that good at 2. Without the exchange of power, it just feels really, really limiting. But then at 5, there's way too much downtime and it's really long. So it's just one of those games that very specifically needs 4. 3 is okay, but really you want 4. But awesome games nonetheless.
Oh,
we have like twice as many people now as when we were going through our list earlier. So
we did.
I'm like, I'll repeat it. I'm sure we'll get people that didn't hear that from earlier.
Pretty standard, really. Austin Powers was one of my favorite movies of the 90s. Spoiler alert. Summers in luge lessons. In the spring, we'd make meat helmets.
I love all those as well. I also just happen to be a very big Tommy Boy fan. Who wasn't? But, build a model airplane, she says. But
hey, that's a 90s character, 80s and 90s character.
Correct. You're correct. And so was Nat Foley. Lives in a van out by the river.
Yeah.
Wait, what? How? No. How? No, you did the right thing, Evan, but how? No.
Listen, no. every amazing dynamic relationship, you have to have like at least one thing where you are diametrically opposed.
Draw the line on Tommy Boy hatred.
What would be worse is if she loves Black Sheep and
Oh
hates,
God.
or like she's like, can we watch Beverly Hills Ninja again instead? And be like, come on. Oh, she's a grump. Yeah, you know what? My wife just doesn't love rewatching movies that she's already seen, and I could watch movies
Oh
over and over and
man.
over and over and over and over and have. But you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
So if voting kicks ass.
Now you're going to Black Sheep.
Oh
Nicely
yeah,
done.
I know. I did. Oh God.
Well, and Evan, you and her go together because opposites attract. You just need Cool Cat there. She's your Paul Abdul. You're Cool Cat, and you're ready to go.
Oh man, what was that last one that he did that was terrible?
Wagons, or no,
Almost Heroes.
Almost Heroes with Matthew Perry.
Oh, that
R.I.P.
was bad.
You know what
Yeah.
though? There was a scene in that though that cracked me up. I remember seeing that in the theater, and
I saw it in theater as well.
there was one scene. Do you remember where he keeps going up to get the eagle egg? And like every time he's about to like get the egg, and then the eagle comes, and then he just makes like a stupid face, and then like something happens. I don't know why, but that part, and I think it's like the rule of three. You know what I mean? Because they did it multiple times, and it just made me laugh so hard every time. The rest of that movie, I barely remember, but I very clearly remember laughing my ass off at that scene. And David, yeah, sometimes over and under the rainbow, over and over and over the rainbow. Actually, Under the Rainbow is a movie that I like. That's Chevy Chase, and there's like a murder mystery around the Wizard of Oz, and it's filled with little people. It's pretty funny. I mean, it's probably problematic now, but in the '80s, I enjoyed it quite a bit. uh,
Oh wow.
but
That's gonna be a fun list though. That's gonna be a good
oh,
one.
it's gonna be great. I can't wait. It's gonna be really good, and yeah, there's gonna be one character that I could not put on my robots list that will make it onto my '80s and '90s list.
Oh,
But
I've got a robot that made my robot list that could make this list. It wasn't technically a robot.
mm,
I'm not gonna do that. I'm kidding.
sure, sure.
I put the autopilot from Airplane on my robot list because I was able to prove that it had to be programmed to do its job, and because it's tangible, it counts as a robot.
Also programmed to receive pleasure, apparently. Uh, yeah, no, that was a maestro of a move there. You did
Oh, you
good with
guys.
that one.
Oh man, I must have got enough sleep last night. I really got the giggles.
Oh, you're good. Top 10 robots that didn't make the previous robots list. Oh my god, we could do a top
Oh,
100. I could do a top 100.
we're
I
gonna
know
do a
Seppi
board.
could.
Yeah, you guys are gonna do a board game mechanics and do the top 100 after the top 100
No doubt. No.
of robots. Good
Oh shoot. Well,
stuff. Like catching
Mike,
my breath from laughing too much.
I'm gonna have to like forego trivia tonight because I'm kind of wiped from the allergy pill that I took, and just not being at 110% today. But I really, really, really love this list. I had a great time, man. Um,
That was really good. And Tim, as much as you say you've been married for a long time, you do still have a life partner, and it is still Valentine's Day, so you don't need any justification, sir.
oh no, it's all good, man. It's all good. I do appreciate everybody that's come out and has been watching. If you're watching in the future, thank you from the past. Um, like every week, kick ass, great job. Love the lists. It's so much fun. Yeah, man, this next month and a half, next 6 weeks, is going to be insane. It's going to be really, yeah. The anticipation is building.
It's gonna be good stuff. Yeah, great show. Yeah, it's always weird to come to that culmination, even though the order we did them was weird. Getting to this point and going, wow, I'm totally done talking about my like favorite all-time games for a while. No, they'll still get talked about because that's why we're here. But
Right,
in
right.
detail, yeah, no. Um, I'll do that. I'll I'll do that for Winston, as a matter of fact. So
There you
that's
go.
not true. That's gross.
And yeah, David, you're not wrong. It is a little bit of both, which is hence the root beer in the water tonight. But I was the show must go on. I was I didn't want to miss it. I know Mike would have come on and done something anyways. And we've
Of
got enough
course.
awesome friends. They probably would have come on too. But why would I let them get to have all the fun when I can get on here and hang out with Couch Mike for a few hours?
Right.
So
And I could continue, but like we had a very fulfilling, solid top 10, top to bottom. I'm okay just leaving it right where it is.
hell yeah, man. We'll take the easy night when we can, right? Because usually we do go a little longer.
Chock full of good games though. So sometimes quality over quantity.
Hell yeah. Well, before we finally sign off, check out Caloria on Kickstarter. Also check out Conquest Princess Fashion is Power, also on Kickstarter from Fight in a Box Games. And then keep your eyes open for Ostia Pirates, Profiler, a social deduction game, and also House of a Thousand Corpses coming soon.
Yes, sir. And yes, Caloria is spelled with a K and a C, and the K is silent.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm sure it's a specific scientific term that I'm just not smart enough to be aware of.
I don't know what it is either. It's been awesome. We'll see all of you next week.
That's right.
Most of you. Some of you.
Maybe even more of you.
Hopefully all of you.
So for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I was the Couch Mike.
Whoop, whoop. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
We'll see you guys.
Good
next
job,
time.
Stonemeyer. A 7.3 repeating. Heating.